डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी.
Namaskar and welcome to the session. Dear learners, today we are going to discuss a very important topic in the course. The topic is not important only in this course. In general, when we talk about Bharatiya Gyan Parampara or Indian knowledge system, when we talk about Indian poetics, criticism in Indian poetics, this topic plays very vital role, very important. It is Rasa theory by Bharat Muni in Bharatanatyam Shastra. So today we will discuss a little about Rasa theory, the very important components of Rasa theory. In theory you will read, but today with a little example I will try to explain. So let us start this. And believe me, that in future also when you are planning for further studies, if you are a student of literature and you are thinking about an application of a theory, now I think we should more study, reflect and apply Indian aesthetics also, Indian theories also. So we should be very familiar with our own roots. Yes, let us start today. First of all, when we talk about Bharat Muni and his contribution to Indian aesthetics, the very important, the first profound contribution to Indian aesthetics is Rasa theory. When we read about Bharatanatyam Shastra, the complete Natya Shastra, the 6th chapter, that is Rasa Adhyaya, that explains in Natya Shastra is Rasa theory. Rasa Sutra, it is also known as Rasa Sutra. And what is Rasa Sutra? That line, Sutra is a line. What is that line is? Vibhava, Anubhava, Vyabhichari, Sanyogada, Rasa Nishpatti. It means Vibhava. Now what is Vibhava? What is Anubhava? What is Sthai? What is Sanchari? What is Vyabhichari? That I will explain later on. But the definition, the Sutra says that Vibhava plus Anubhava plus Vyabhichari, Sanyogada, when they combine, when Vibhava, Anubhava, Vyabhichari, they combine, they are put together, Rasa Nishpatti. The Rasa Nishpatti, Ras is introduced, it is born in the viewer's mind, viewer's heart, viewer's soul. When we talk about Rasa Nishpatti, why? No, it is said that Natya Shastra is the 5th Veda. After 4 very important Vedas, this is the 5th Veda. Why? Because the life needs to have some change, some beauty into it, some aesthetics, some juice. For example, whenever we eat, why do we eat? One could eat anything, the same food item throughout the life. But no, we cook it, we mix it, we prepare it in different ways. Very beautiful, very tasty, the food items that one relishes, one cherishes. Why that happens? Because it is nature, human nature. They want change, they want something interesting, they want something juicy. So rasa is a juice, savor, it's a taste in the life itself. So purpose of performance Natya, why does one? Now you see, if you are a student of literature, about literature also it is says, when we talk about art for the sake of art and art for the sake of life. Art for the sake of art, that makes life beautiful. Just simply, I enjoy art and so I am enjoying art. Dance, just for the sake of dance, I want to see, I want to view it. Just for the sake of dance, I want to dance. So as a dancer, as an artist, or as a viewer, just for the sake of art you are there, just to enjoy it, just to cherish it. Art for the sake of life, it teaches you something, it guides you individual's life. So art for the sake of art for the sake of life, in any of the ways, rasa nishpatti is very important, because when rasa nishpatti takes place, when one is really interested, juicy, finds it interesting, either will accept, will absorb, will feel, or will work in that direction. So the purpose of art is pleasure, enjoyment, to feel the existence with liveliness, with vibrancy of life. So that purposes of performance. So why we perform, why the creation takes place, why the experience, everything is for rasa. Now I would here connect you to one more understanding also. Theory of catharsis. Why catharsis? Many a times there are some suppressed, oppressed emotions, feelings in an individual. When they do not get platform, or they do not have outlets, outcomes, so at that time, those emotions, suppressed, oppressed emotions, they distort personality of an individual. When we go to witness some drama or movie, in the tragedy we cry, in the comedy we laugh, in the horror that fear comes out, and in the maybe action movie, violence, that whatever we feel that I should kill him, I should. So somewhere that anger against someone, that comes out. So these emotions of sadness, grief, laughter, anger, they do not have many times enough space to come out. Through catharsis they come out, and that is the role of an art, a theatre, dance. When a Sahridaya, a viewer who is equally sensitive at heart as an artist, Sahridaya, he or she feels the same what the artist might be feeling, and then those emotions have platform to come out, and that purifies individuals' emotional being. That purification of emotional being, there rasa theory plays vital role. Now there Bharata writes, nahi rasadate kaschida arthana pravartate. That means without rasa, if there is no rasa, then no meaning is conveyed in performing arts, be it be dance or theatre. If rasa nishpatti doesn't take place, then the message is not conveyed, it is not meaningful. So as meaning is very important to any word, if any word, any literature, anything put in front of you, but that conveys no meaning, it is of no use. In the same way, if the art doesn't convey that rasa, or it doesn't help for in the process of rasa nishpatti, resulting into rasa nishpatti, that art is of no use. Bharata says there. Now when we talk about meaning of rasa, it is derived from rasa. The vegetable will have juices, fruits will have juices, everything has juices. So we say the life is very juicy, the performance is very juicy. So that juice, that sap, essence, flavor, that is rasaha. Rasa, that is a sense of emotion in artistic representation. When we see something, oh, it had karuna rasa, karuna, oh, that grief, karuna, oh, the performance had hasya rasa, oh, that's very joyful, full of laughters. So that's a sense of the emotion. What exactly, which emotion had enough space there? That is a sense of emotion and artistic representation. The unique aesthetic enjoyment, aswada. When I'm eating, oh, I'm relishing that food, aswada, tasting it, enjoying it. My tongue tastes it. In the same way, when I view the performance, my eyes, my ears, my being, all through all my senses, I feel it. So that is the aswada. The unique aesthetic enjoyment, aswada, experienced by the audience, transcending the mundane world. In my day-to-day life, I am all busy in my mundane work, many a times very monotonous, very boring, same, nothing new. And when I witness a beautiful dance performance, a beautiful theatre performance, and then transcend that performance, rasa nishpatti takes me, it elevates me, the transcending those mundane work, beyond that. So that what rasa is meant for. A universalized, heightened state severed by the audience, rasika and sahridaya. Try to understand, this is very, very important. Many a times, some real incident is not as true as imaginary universal incident. Try to understand, this is very, very important when we discuss about or when we try to understand rasa theory. For example, Abhigyan Shakuntala is being performed. And in Abhigyan Shakuntala, when Dushyant looks at Shakuntala for the first time and he gets attracted towards the beauty of Shakuntala. Now, what Dushyant felt, that many young men might have felt. So, it's a universalized feeling. In the same way, when Sita Haran takes place in Ramayana, Lakshman is angry. So, that anger is universal. Anyone feels the same when the woman of a family is abducted, feels the same anger. When Draupadi feels insulted, when she is robbed of her clothes in front of the whole, a group of people in that sabha, she feels very insulted. That humiliation, everybody feels that. Every woman feels anger towards. So these are universal emotions, universal feelings. And that's why to feel one with that ekatma, ekya, feeling of ekya, ekatma, sameness, rasika, a sensitive heart, a viewer, audience with that sensitive heart, sahridaya, feels that. These are universal emotions, universal feelings, and that's why rasa nishpatti happens. What Radha feels when Krishna goes away from Gokula, at a moment when I feel, I'm being expressed, I start feeling that. Why? Because rasa nishpatti has taken place. Now, when we talk about Rasa Sutra, to understand the components, determinants is very, very important. Now, first, what are the components? First is Vibhava. In Rasa Sutra, we listen Vibhava. They are determinants. Now, they determine, as a determinant, they determine. How they determine? In Vibhava also there are two Vibhava. One is Alambana Vibhava, another is Uddipana Vibhava. Now, who understands the terminology will understand Alamban, that means who depends on. Alamban is ये उनके ऊपर आलंबित है. आलंबित means the determined that dependence on. So that is alamban, character or object. For example, I am here to perform Radha, I am here to perform Parvati, I am here to perform Krishna. So I am Alambana Vibhava. The character, that character is important. The Radha, Parvati, Krishna, they are important. They decide. So my movement, but I am there. Next is Uddipana. Uddipana means something that stimulates. For example, Radha remembers Krishna, but that full moon night, oh, that is Uddipana, that forces me to remember him. Okay, so when something in the nature, in the environment, in surrounding stimulates that, that is Uddipana, makes, possible things, that's Uddipana. Maybe you have science background, then also you might be familiar with the words like Alambana, Uddipana, etc. And now here you see Alambana, that's a characters or objects. Uddipana, that is environmental intensifiers. When I see Kadamba Vriksha, when I listen music of the flute, when I see that Yamuna flowing on the bank of Yamuna, oh, everything reminds me of him so much because they are Uddipana. I want to forget Krishna, but I am not able to. Why? When I see that matuki or vessel, utensil full of makhana, I will not translate makhan as butter, they are two different things. Yes, so that reminds me of Krishna. So those are Uddipana Vibhava. I am Radha remembering everything, I am Alamban Vibhava, but all these things, this moon, this tree, Kadam tree, this river, they are Uddipana Vibhava. Anubhava, that is consequence, results. Gestures, expression, vocal modulations, they are Anubhava. They communicate through, for example, when I remember flute, listen flute, my expression, gesture says, oh, Krishna is somewhere here, Krishna is somewhere here. And suddenly I remember, oh, he's no more in Gokul. And then now my gesture, my movement, maybe tears from my eyes, they are Anubhava, following, Anu, that follows those feeling expressions. Next is Vyabhichari Bhava. They are Sanchari, Vyabhichari, transitory states. They transient expressions, transitory expression states. Sthai is permanent, durable, sustainable, longer staying. Now when Yashoda feels love, Vatsalya for Krishna, okay, that's Sthai Bhav, that is permanent, that continuous, durable, sustainable, continuous expression. But when, oh, you stole makhan butter from here, I'm angry. Oh, तूने मटकी तोड़ डाली, मेरी पूरा गुस्सा हो गई, anger. But this anger is vyabhichari, sanchari, transient, transitory expression. It is not permanent. So those are vyabhichari bhava. They come and go, they come and leave. There are 33 fleeting emotions. Fleeting, they come and go. They are not permanently therefore. So they are fleeting. Anxiety, then shame or envy. These are transient expression, transitory expression. They keep on changing. When all of them are put together, as a result, rasa nishpatti takes place. I feel every emotion what the artist is feeling. Rasa nishpatti takes place. Harmony of determinants who determine, harmony, putting together, harmony of determinants, consequence, transitory states, and sthayi bhava. Sthayi, that's a permanent, durable, sustainable, long. Everything results into rasa nishpatti. That's a rasa. Now, types of bhava. First, sthayi bhava. Generally, there are 8 durable emotions, rasas, that we talked about. 9 rasa. Bharat Natya Shastra describes, Bharat Muni says only 8 sthayi rasa, when Abhinav Gupta added to 9th Shanta rasa. So here first 8 sthayi bhava, that is 8 durable emotions, rasas. Then Vyabhichari or Sanchari, Sanchayati iti Sanchari. Try to understand. Sanchayati iti Sanchari, that keeps on fleeting here and there, that keeps on moving, coming and going. Sanchayati iti Sanchari. So they are Sanchari bhava. They are 33 supporting emotions. They are sthayi bhavas are main emotions. Sanchari are supporting emotions. Vyabhichari and Sanchari, they are the same. They are supporting emotions. And in that, one has to understand sattvic bhavas. Sattvic, I will not go much in detail of it, because we have discussed about Abhinaya. In Abhinaya also, I mentioned, if I am not mistaken, I mentioned about sattvic bhavas. 8 involuntary signs, that's sweating, trembling, tears, etc. They are sattvic bhavas. When I was explaining Angika Abhinaya, Vachika Abhinaya, Aharya Abhinaya, and Sattvika Abhinaya. In Sattvika Abhinaya, we discuss this also. In this way, they become total 49 bhavas. My dear learners, keep in mind one thing, that with various gurus, various critics, the bhavas kept on adding also, eliminating also, and this may continue, because this is creative field. In creative field, creativity, interpretation has enough space. When we look at 8 classical rasa, which are those classical rasas? First is Sringara. That's a king of all expressions, all bhava. That shows erotic, love. And there it is rooted in Rati bhava. Sringara rasa in Rati bhava. Hasya, that's comic or laughter. Hasya rasa, they are rooted in hasa or joy. Rudra, that's a furious or anger, that's rooted in krodha. Karuna, pathetic, compassion, that's rooted in shoka. Veera rasa, heroic, courage, which is rooted in utsah. The expression bhav is of utsah rasa. Bhayanaka rasa, terrible, fear, that's rooted in bhaya. Bibhatsa rasa, that's odious, disgusting, which is rooted in jugupsa. Adbhuta rasa, that's marvelous, wonder, which is rooted in vismaya. Adbhuta, vismaya. Then Santa rasa. Santa rasa was not there in Bharata, it is added later on, which is tranquility, peace. All the possible that in Bharata, absence of 8 rasa might be Santa rasa, where Abhinaya Gupta says Santa rasa is going beyond all this. Abhinaya Gupta introduced this one. Later on, even Bhakti rasa and Vatsalya rasa were also added, because in dance, Bhakti parampara very closely associated, Bhakti literature very closely associated with Indian performing arts, especially Indian classical dances. Here we have to understand that it is different from real. But this emotions, all these emotions create feeling of real, they are not real. Actors, dancers, they enact, they perform, enact in such a way that their emotions really travel to the hearts of viewers or audience, and then they feel those universal emotions as they are their own feeling, their own travel journey, and they feel the same emotions. It's a collective, elevated, same experience of emotions. It's the elevated. It takes you to the transcend. It's not day to days all mundane, monotonous feeling. It is above that, and that takes audience, viewers further. The purpose of any life is to have meaningful life. The purpose of any art is to make that art meaningful. Rasa Nishpatti makes life meaningful. The purpose of life is to cherish the beauty, every beauty associated with the life. The purpose of art is to cherish every beauty, every aesthetics associated with performing art, dance. And if one takes away Rasa Sutra, Rasa Nishpatti, theory of rasa from Indian classical dance, I think very little is left there, very little. My dear learners, wish you very happy learning and start evaluating performances from the perspective of 9 rasas. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
स्वाध्यायः